Hey, what's up everybody? This is C.L.S. All-in-One. Today, I will show you how to glue down vinyl sheet flooring and also how to seam vinyl sheet flooring. There's a lot of vinyl flooring options available these days, and a lot of these vinyl floorings can be installed without gluing down. But for myself, I prefer to glue down the vinyl flooring, which will eliminate any movement with the flooring and hold up better to foot traffic and normal wear and tear. This vinyl flooring is around 3.2 millimeters thick with a premium cushion backing, and it comes in 12-foot wide rolls. To glue down most of the vinyl sheet floorings that are similar to this, they will require a pressure-sensitive releasable adhesive, but you should always refer to the manufacturer recommendations before choosing an adhesive. So before you start laying down the vinyl flooring, you want to make sure the subfloor has a smooth and level surface. If the subfloor does not meet this criteria, then a suitable flooring underlayment should be installed, with all the larger gaps filled with a patching compound to make a smooth and level surface for the vinyl flooring. And here's a look at some pre-mixed floor patching compound, and to apply this I'll be using a small putty knife. So I have a gap right here in between my two pieces of underlayment. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this floor patch in between these two pieces, and then wipe off the excess with my putty knife just like this. And this will keep any seams from showing after installing the vinyl flooring. And I will have a separate video for just the underlayment installation that I will be releasing on my channel here in the near future. Now that the flooring surface is smooth and level, it's time to go ahead and thoroughly sweep the area where installing the vinyl. Then go ahead and start unrolling the vinyl and getting it somewhat into position. So as you can see here, I have a lot of cuts that need to be made. And I also have to make sure that the vinyl pattern, if it has one, is squared up with my walls. And if there is a seam involved, I always try to position the vinyl in a manner in which the seam will be as small as possible. When cutting the vinyl, you will want to start off with leaving 2 to 3 inches of extra material wherever possible, so you don't come up short if any adjustments need to be made to the vinyl positioning. So I start off with just rough cuts, and I actually don't make my final cuts until after I glue down the floor. Now that all my rough cuts are done, I then pull back half of the vinyl flooring and fold it on to the other half. Now it's time to start applying the pressure-sensitive flooring adhesive. And to apply this adhesive, I will be using a 3/8 of an inch high-grade nap roller. So I'm just pouring the adhesive into a paint tray just like it was paint, then soaking my roller into the adhesive. So I got it nice and wet here. And to start off with, I usually just kind of dab the floor a couple times so I'm not getting too much in one area. Then I start evenly spreading the glue out. So what I'm trying to do here is get one nice thick coat of adhesive in all areas where the vinyl flooring will be located on this half. And it would also be a good idea to apply it in a manner in which you don't have to walk in the adhesive. So right here, I'm starting at the farthest wall and working my way towards the vinyl. Now it's time to patiently wait for the adhesive to become nice and tacky, and it usually takes about half hour or so. After a half hour, go ahead and check it with your finger. If it's plenty tacky to the touch, it should be ready. If it's not tacky yet, go ahead and wait a little bit longer. This adhesive is now ready, and it's time to unfold the vinyl back into position. While doing this, you want to be very careful to not allow the top side of the vinyl to come in contact with the glue. And also, you want to try to lay the vinyl as evenly as possible back into position. And if there is any heater vents located in the areas where you're installing the vinyl flooring, it would be a good idea to mark these areas, which is what I'm doing here with the blue pad. And this will prevent you from stepping in these areas which could stretch the vinyl or possibly make you fall or trip. Now it's time to secure the vinyl to the underlayment and remove any air pockets or bubbles with a vinyl roller. These are somewhat expensive to purchase, but you can usually rent these for fairly cheap at most of the major hardware stores. And this one weighs approximately 100 pounds. And these are pretty simple to use. I just start in the middle of the floor and roll over the top of the vinyl all the way to the edge. Then with the next pass, I just slightly overlap the area I just rolled and continue this process all the way across. And I still need to trim the edges of the vinyl, but I will wait to do this until the entire floor is rolled. After getting the first half of the vinyl floor rolled, it's now time to fold up the vinyl on the second half and apply the adhesive for this side. And I make sure during this step that the adhesive covers all areas, especially in the middle, where I try to overlap the previous adhesive by a few inches. Now that the adhesive is applied, it's time to unfold the vinyl and place it back into position. And located right here is where the seam is going to be. And I've only applied the adhesive a couple inches past this seam location for now. But with some of the other brands of vinyl sheet flooring, they may require seam tape. If seam tape is required, then the adhesive should stop being applied at 6 inches from the edge of the seam, so you can apply the seam tape at a later point. Now it's time to start rolling the vinyl on this half. And for this side, I start rolling from the edge of the vinyl I've already rolled, then work my way all the way across the vinyl flooring to the other side, then repeat this process over the entire vinyl flooring area. After rolling the vinyl, it's now time to do my final cuts on the vinyl edges. When cutting the edges, I try to fold and crease the vinyl to conform to the edges. Then I cut and trim off the excess vinyl with a utility knife. After trimming all the edges, it's then time to roll the vinyl once more on just the edges. So this section of vinyl floor is now in place and glued down, and I'm ready to move on to the seam. When choosing a vinyl flooring that's going to require seams, it's best to choose a vinyl that has patterns with lines, such as simulated tile or wood planks. These patterns allow you to cut at the joint lines, which hides the seams much easier. If we look closely here, you can see the joint line in the pattern, and this is where I'll be making my cut. There's a lot of methods for cutting vinyl, but one of the most important things is to have a good straight edge to cut your vinyl perfectly straight. There is various types of straight edges you can purchase, with some being a little bit more pricey than others, such as the king cut. But alternatively, you can use tools such as a long T-square or even a metal yardstick, which is what I'll be using in this video. To make the actual cuts to the vinyl, I will show you two different methods. The first involves one cut on each half of the vinyl, and the second method involves overlapping the vinyl, then double cutting both pieces of vinyl at the same time. So with this first method, I'm cutting the loose piece of vinyl that has not been installed yet, but the rough cuts have already been made and it's ready to be seamed with the other half that's already installed. So to start with, I carefully line up my straight edge with the joint line, then firmly hold my straight edge in place, making sure not to let it move. Then with my utility knife, I begin making my cut, and make sure to hold my knife as straight up and down as possible so there's no angles in the cut. And when you're making your cuts, you want to press hard enough to where it cuts through the vinyl, but don't press so hard that it causes excessive damage to the underlayment or the subfloor. Now it's time to cut the seam on the other half of the vinyl that's already been installed on the floor. And the same thing goes here. I line up my straight edge with the joint line in the pattern, then make my cut. In my opinion, if you're a beginner, cutting the edge of each half separately is a little bit easier of a task to accomplish than double cutting, which does require a little more skill. So even if you're dealing with vinyl flooring with no joint lines in the pattern, it's still the same objective. You just want a nice and square cut on both halves of the flooring. Just keep in mind, the seams will be more visible on vinyl flooring seams that are not on the joint lines in the pattern. Now that I've made my cut, I can peel off the excess vinyl that does have adhesive under it already. But remember, if seam tape is required per the flooring manufacturer, the last 6 inches of the vinyl floor should not have any adhesive at this point. And I will show a demonstration of using seam tape a little bit later in the video. Okay, it's now time to grab the loose piece of vinyl and see if the two seams match up. And it looks like everything lines up correctly, so I'm now going to cut off the excess on this piece of vinyl. And I did leave this piece a little bit long. That way, if I made any mistakes when cutting the seam, I would have plenty of material left over to make another cut and try again. And now that I know this piece fits correctly, it's time to add some adhesive on this end. And I make sure to get adhesive in all areas where the vinyl floor is going to be, and get it as close to the edges as possible. And as I mentioned earlier, the adhesive is applied slightly past the vinyl edge on the floor already, but I'm still applying some fresh adhesive in this area. After applying the adhesive, I then wait approximately 30 minutes for the adhesive to become tacky. Then I position my loose piece of vinyl in place while making sure to butt the seams together as close as possible. And just to let you know, this half of the vinyl is a very small piece that's very manageable and easy to handle. If you're dealing with a larger piece of vinyl, I would recommend having someone help you place the loose piece of vinyl into position, and possibly only applying adhesive to smaller sections at a time if it's too big to handle all at once. Also, with some of the other brands of vinyl, some additional seam glue may be required, and I'll discuss this in more detail here in just a few. So this piece of vinyl is now in position, and it's time to grab the vinyl roller again and roll this section of the vinyl. Now let's take a closer look at the seam, which is located right here. And as you can see here, the seam blends right in and looks just like another joint line in the pattern. And even when I zoom in really close, it's hard to tell that there's a seam located right here. So that's the first method for seaming the vinyl, which involves cutting both halves of the vinyl and gluing them into position with pressure-sensitive adhesive. And here's a couple pictures of the finished floor after completing the trim work and carpet, which outlines the vinyl. And here is a demonstration of the second method for seaming the vinyl, which involves double cutting the vinyl. So I have two pieces of vinyl here that I want to seam together, and I'll be making my seam cuts on the pattern joint lines. Only this time, I'll cut both pieces at the same time. And for this example, we'll pretend that the piece of vinyl on the right is the half that's already glued down to the floor. Now with the loose piece of vinyl on the left, I will cut a couple sight windows, and this involves cutting small sections of the vinyl away, with the cut stopping exactly where my seam will be located. And I would recommend having one sight window at each end of the loose piece of vinyl, and possibly one in the middle as well if it's a really long piece. Now let's take a closer look at the two sight windows I just cut out. And as you can see here, these cuts end right at the pattern joint line where the seam will be located. And this will allow me to easily line up the pattern joint lines on both halves at the same time. So if I overlap this piece of vinyl onto the other half, I can now position this to where both of the joint lines are lined up at the same time, because I can see the joint line by using these sight windows. And here's a closer look so you can see the joint line there. Lines up with the joint line on this half. Now it's time to grab my straight edge and line up with the joint line on the top piece of vinyl. Then grab my knife and cut through both pieces at the same time. And again, you want to make sure to keep the knife as straight up and down as possible, and also press hard enough to cut through both pieces at the same time. So I've made my cut here. Now let's go ahead and pull these two halves apart and check out the seam. It looks like it cut through both pieces no problem. Now let's put these two seams together and see how it looks. And it looks like this seam turned out pretty nice looking. Now it is somewhat visible still because both halves would still need to be glued down to the floor to finish this seam. But that's how you can double cut the vinyl for seaming two halves together. Now with some vinyl flooring, seam tape may be required, and you should always check the manufacturer installation instructions to verify if it's needed. Here's an example of using seam tape. The tape should be placed directly centered with both halves of the vinyl onto the subfloor or underlayment. The seam tape is a double-sided tape with a removable backing that peels off once in position. Once the seam tape is in place, you can then apply the adhesive over the top of the seam tape. Then, when the adhesive becomes tacky, you can then lay the vinyl on top of the seam tape, then roll the vinyl with a vinyl roller. So some of the vinyl floorings calls for seam tape, but there's also some that calls for additional seam glue as well. This glue applies to the edge of the seam that's on the vinyl flooring that's already glued down and in place. So with this example, both halves of the vinyl are still using the pressure-sensitive flooring adhesive and the seam tape. And now we will add some seam glue as well. So with this seam glue, you will want to apply a thin bead to the outside edge of the vinyl that's already glued down and in position. Then grab the other half of the vinyl and bond the two seams together. This will more than likely make a small mess, so you want to make sure to have a damp rag ready to wipe off the excess glue. Now it's time to grab the vinyl roller and roll the vinyl floor. And you'll want to be careful when rolling over the seam area because the seam glue may keep squeezing out and making a mess, so be ready with that damp rag to clean up any mess as it happens. Okay, it's time for me to go. Hopefully this video will help you out with gluing down vinyl and seaming it together. And if you have any questions, just ask. And if you like this video, if you could hit that like button, and have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.